Calvary. We are in a study series called Master Life, and so we've been studying this Master Life book, dealing with the disciples' cross and learning to be more effective disciples for Jesus. Amen. 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 All right. So by now, by the end of this week, by this period right now, we should have completed week 4, which is no.
Yes.
Week 4? Yeah, week 4. Yeah, we're in week 5 now. Yeah, to complete week 4, fellowship believers, you should be praying daily with your covenant prayer list. You should be having weekly prayer with your prayer partners. You should have befriended someone. You should have befriended someone in the church who is not a close friend already, or is not a Master Life group member. If you have not done that, you need to do that this week. Because next week when you come, one of your assignments is going to be to tell us what you found out about that person. You don't have to give them the name, you don't have to get their name or who they are, but you need to tell us what you learned about them, about befriending them. That means you got to have a couple conversations with them. Maybe, I don't know, whatever it takes.
And that's the person in the church.
That's a person in the church who's not a part of the group.
Not a part of the group?
Not a part of this group.
Good. That limits.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
You can have this. Well, we wouldn't know if we had the same one or not, would we?
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter if you all had the same one. That'd be fine.
Yeah, that's good.
That'd be fine. Okay. All right. All right. And then you should have memorized 6 verses by now. Okay? 6 verses. And those 6 verses are 2 Chronicles 16 and 9, Luke 9:23, John 15 and 5, John 8:31 and 32, and John 15 and 7. And this week's memory verse is John 13:34-35. That was a session 4 week memory verse, right? 34 and 35. A new commandment? New commandment.
I haven't learned.
That you love one another.
As
As
I love
I've loved you, love one another.
you. You must love one another for my Father.
Your Bible says you must? You must love one another. Okay. What does it say?
I got to start from the beginning.
Okay, start from the beginning then. What does it say?
A new commandment I give unto you is that you love one another as I have loved you. You must love one another. By this men shall know that you are my disciples.
You are my disciples because you have love for one another. All right, okay. All right, so by this time you should have memorized all of those verses. And so we're not going to break up into the small partnership groups tonight. We're just going to do it all collectively since there's so few of us. And one of the things that we were going to do in that session, we were going to check each other's walk with the Master this week and draw those horizontal lines. We were going to do that. But let's we're going to assume that you did your homework. Everybody did the homework? Everybody did the assignment? See, and if you didn't do it, you'll be like, oh, see, that's one thing about co-pastor. If she didn't do it, she going to admit it.
I did some.
Okay. But let's do this. Let's begin by inquiring, how are you doing keeping on track?
My problem is that befriending somebody.
Okay.
Number one, I don't know.
Okay.
And then who to select to befriend that's outside of this group.
Okay.
It's been a problem. It's also been kind of it can be a stressor to me.
Okay.
I don't know about everybody else.
All right. Okay.
But
And why is it a stressor to you?
because of, I guess, my personality,
Okay.
because I am I think one thing that I built up so many walls because I've been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm afraid to really do that.
Reach out to somebody,
Right. And then,
especially if you're rejected.
yes, and I've had plenty of rejection.
Okay.
And so that is the thing. And so the thing is, I've said, well, after the last rejection, I said, well, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. Okay, but then I read in the Word that, that God has empowered us
Mm-hmm.
to witness. So maybe I was doing it out of myself, out of my
Okay.
flesh, and I was not being empowered by God.
Okay.
Okay, but even those people that you try to get to be friends with, I am not a talker,
Mm-hmm.
So, who said,
That would be going to it right.
Was that a whom in agreement to what you said, or a whom in disagreement to what you
I
said?
agree with co-pastor.
No, you can disagree. I can talk. I can be a talker if I know you.
Okay.
But if I don't know you, then it's hard for me to come up
With what to say?
a conversation piece to be able to get things going. You can ask. I'll ask how you doing, and you'll say, "I'm doing good," and I say, "Well, that's a blessing," and then that's it. That's the end of the conversation. They're not gonna say nothing else. I don't know what else to say. And so that's it. So it becomes a stressor to me. So I'm just being.
It feels like you're crying.
Okay.
It looks
And
like
I
you're
think
crying.
that's what most people think, now that's what you're trying to. Even sometimes when I see somebody that really looks like they need help,
Uh-huh.
and I'll say, "Are you okay?" And they'll say, "Yeah," and they're crying. But they're not okay. But they don't want you to. I don't know.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily that they don't want your assistance, but they may not necessarily want to share with you what's going on. And so they will try to avoid by saying everything's okay or I'm all right, but they're really not all right. And then so what you have to be able to discern then is how far and how to press it. Because the reality is they do want to tell somebody what's going on. Okay. They just don't want to tell that people are distrustful of others, especially if it's somebody that they don't know. And they're concerned that if they share their feelings, or they share what's going on with them, that'll get out, and then people will gossip about it and they'll talk about it. So just like you've built up walls to protect yourself, people who get wounded a lot build up walls as well, and they don't want to share. But they really need somebody to talk to. So it's just a matter of how far you can press it. Sometimes when people do that to me and they say, I'm okay, well, maybe I don't say anything, but I don't leave, I just stay there. And I give them some time to process. And then I'll ask them again, are you sure you're okay? Because you look like there's something bothering you. I don't want to pry into your business, but I want you to know that I care and I'm here to help you. And eventually, they may break down and share with me what the problem is. If they don't, I'm not going to leave them in that state. I just won't say nothing. Because when they're ready to talk, they'll say something. And if they get it together and get beyond it, they'll tell me because they'll want me to leave.
See, that's why you're people first.
But see, one of the things, but one of the things we have to get beyond if we're going to be effective in discipling people is we're going to have to, what Luke 9:23 said?
I'll take about that.
We have to deny ourselves. And so our walls and our fear of rejection is because we have placed our feelings on a higher priority level than their souls.
Wow.
So we protect our feelings at the detriment to their souls. And Jesus is saying, stop protecting your feelings
That's good.
and make that soul a priority.
Wow.
Because you're going to get rejected sometimes. You're going to get cussed out sometimes. You're going to get fussed at and told to just leave me alone sometimes.
Yes, Lord.
You're going to call people and they ain't going to answer the phone sometimes. But you can't stop making an attempt. And maybe there's a point in time where you leave them alone. But here's the danger. When you get rejected by somebody, you build that wall and say, I'm not doing that anymore. So then the people who would be receptive to what you have to say, who want your help, you ignore them and leave them alone. And they're waiting for you to come. So sometimes, the Bible talks, the sword goes out the soul. And not every seed that he sows falls on fertile ground, but it doesn't stop him from sowing. Because if I get rejected 3 times, maybe number 4 will accept what I want to hear. Maybe number 4 will receive what I have to give them to help them. But if I let the first 3 rejections or the first rejection stop me, number 4 is sitting out there hurting, wanting help, needing help, but I won't give it to them.
But some people won't receive from you because of who you are. It's like maybe with her, that people could be intimidated. It's like, I'm not going to tell co-pastors, but then, if whatever their issue, then it might come across the pulpit, or they might make a bigger deal out of it than what it is. But then they meet, they be like, no, I'd rather talk to the pastor. I'm not talking to you.
But that shouldn't stop you from trying. Because once again, you just put your feelings above their soul.
Trying to stay in my lane.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to say something. I did a lot of sales and business, and one thing I learned in sales and business is that a lot of people buy from the last person they talk to, and what I learned was that when no doesn't mean no, they just don't know what you have to offer. So usually, if they're not ready to talk, then I'll leave them my number. Or I'll say I'll follow up. Without leaving them, I'll get some type of contact information.
Okay.
And call them, try later.
So now, in the sales business,
Right.
does every customer buy that
No.
you try to sell to?
No, they don't. But
And do you stop trying to sell because somebody won't buy?
no. And when you doing a commission only based sales, you figure a way to learn. And what I did was I learned that people love talking about themselves. So whatever I do, I talk about
Bring it
them.
around
I
to
talk
them.
about
Come on now.
whatever they got. If
Preaching
they
now.
have a nice shirt, they want to talk about. It might be a shirt that grandma gave them. You might hit it on the nail. And once you talk about something they like, then you can work yourself in, and then you start going to the object, which is their soul.
That is
Okay.
awesome.
Okay.
That's just something I learned.
Okay.
From oh, yeah.
Thank
But
you,
how do
Calvin.
you?
Like people, if let's say someone has a car that they really cherish or value, you talk about their car, they're gonna listen to you all day long. They're gonna want to talk to you because you're talking about their car.
But how do you find out though what
Well, you know what?
what they like? I mean, how do you get that out
Well,
of
first
them?
you kind of like, hey, how you doing? They speak back. That's first. You see, they spoke back. So right there, you're already working with that person. And then,
You can get them
I like
later.
that
You
shirt.
can get
That's
them
nice.
to
Where did you get it from? You're gonna tell
Get
me.
'em.
Oh, I got it from such and such. Or if their grandma gave it to them, then they go. Now you talk going into a sentimental, and then you don't want them over. Then you can deliver the message Not right then, but you can deliver it later on good ground.
Okay.
You just build a connection. Like any quick connection, you can get them later. No doesn't mean no. No just means they don't know what you got to offer.
You learn something. You learn something. Yeah, because if I was going to approach you, I can tell just from looking at you, you like jewelry. So if I'm going to approach you, I'm not going to come to you with a, hey, baby, what's going on? I'm going to say, you know, that's a nice watch you got. Oh, that bracelet is really nice you got. Where'd you get that from? And then you're going to start talking about your bracelet, your jewelry, and so forth.
Then you get to a point,
Yeah.
you're gonna start having fun.
Mm-hmm.
When you start, now you know you're gonna have fun because you the master what people like.
Mhm.
They sell. They like talking about themselves. You,
Everybody wants to be noticed.
Yeah, because see, he's trying to make a commission, and you're trying to save their soul. But you got to touch on something. I like that. You got to touch on something. You know, you don't like to talk, but man, if you can get them to talk about something that's important to them, and you act like you're interested in what they got to say. Because I don't like to talk a lot.
What?
I don't.
You don't.
I don't. But I'm a great listener.
You don't.
I'm a great listener.
I have pride.
And I will get you to talking. I'll get you to talking, and then I'll do this.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm listening. I'm listening to what you got to say.
All right, you
And
right.
then if it's gonna be tense, I'm gonna come.
The conversation will come. It will come.
I'm gonna fix this thing. So.
It's okay.
Well, when I reach up here, I want to just.
That's okay.
No, it's not okay.
But I'm a people's person too, Pastor, but right now, reaching out to someone in the church, I don't know what my hindrance is. I feel like I just don't want to be bothered. I don't want to invest
I know
my
what you mean.
time.
Exactly.
I don't want to invest my time into someone and be fake about it. I'm not that type of person. I can't.
But you're not, but you're not being fake about it.
But
You
see,
should be.
That's not
but see, there are members of our body who are not as committed as they should be,
Okay.
who don't show up as often as they should, who don't participate in things that we do. But it does not make them any less important.
Oh, I agree with that.
Matter of fact, the Word tells us, over in Corinthians, I believe it is, Paul talks about it, about being one body and many members, and how we give, just like in our natural body, the uncomely parts. We spend more time
Covering up.
on our uncomely parts, covering them and adorning them to make them look attractive, and we spend less time on the comely parts that everybody sees. I mean, we put lotion on to make sure we ain't ashy, but we spend a lot more time and concerned about what we do to cover. And I notice sometimes you ladies, you're talking, and you'll have on an outfit with a little vest on it, and you're constantly doing this. Like Rewood did on Sunday. I mean, she was constantly doing this. It was about to be exposed. She kept pulling on her vest, and the vest wasn't going. And she was coming up, but the vest wasn't going anywhere. It's an uncomely part of her body that she's concerned about, and so she's trying to make sure
And it wasn't going no
that it
place.
wasn't going anywhere.
I didn't even realize
so it is the uncomely members of our body that we need to give more attention to,
Okay.
because they need more attention. But all of them, all of us, are important, and you know, in every ministry, you're gonna have some uncommonly people.
Okay.
They're important.
They are.
They need to be there.
Yeah.
They give you an opportunity to minister, to pay some extra attention to within the body, to help them to become more calmly, if possible. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. So it's easy, you know, for those of us who are like in this study right here. I mean, it's the really faithful people who are here every week in this study. I mean, if they ain't teaching in there, they're here. But and we wanna, but we can't limit ourselves just to associating with those people. We gotta reach out, because if you can't reach out to the uncommonly portions of our body, how are you gonna reach out to the ones who won't even come in the door? Okay? And if you're going to make disciples, we're going to have to reach out to them to help them grow stronger, but then you have to reach out to those who don't come in the door as well. And it's going to require you to adjust your schedules to make room for others. It's going to require you to deny yourselves, to accommodate, to make some sacrifices so you can accommodate some time that you can spend with some people that you normally would not waste your time on, because they are important. After all of you at one time were uncommonly.
Yes.
Somebody had to spend some time investing in you in order for you to be where you are today. And so you have to be willing to invest in time. Because if you're unwilling to invest time in someone else, then the investment that was made in you was worthless. All right.
So y'all, I need prayer.
Well, you need prayer, but we need to encourage you. You need encouragement too. Because you're probably not the only one who feels that way.
You surely do. I'm sorry.
You're probably not the only one who feels that way. But we need to encourage you. You know, like this week, what was it you told me this morning that you prayed for something? What did you tell me this morning? Or was it yesterday morning? You said you prayed for a more calmer spirit. Remember you said that?
It ain't happening.
Okay. But see,
It has not happened.
but see,
Oh, it's just been a rough week.
What your expectation is that you'll have a more calmly spirit, because the things that upset your calmliness will either go away or no longer have an effect on you.
I just don't want to react. What I'm trying to do is, see.
But the only way you
a
can
lot of
develop that non-reaction is to have those things happen so that you can learn how to react better.
See, me and Teron got into a big blowout. A big blowout, me and my grandson.
Okay.
And it was just, but I realized it was me. And God had to deal with me. And then I had to go and apologize to him, and I told him that I was so sorry because, you know, it was something that was within me, and I said, I'm sorry that, you know, And I said, and this is what we're gonna do. It's about his elbow. I said, this is what we're gonna do. I said, well, I'll make an appointment for you to see the doctor. And if he says it's okay for you to play, then you can play. But he was telling me that, he came and said, well, my trainer said that, my elbow wasn't really fractured, and they really want me to play on Friday because, they're gonna be throwing. And I just lost it.
She sure did.
I just really lost it. I said, that
She took
trainer
it back
and
to his
that coach
mama.
don't care about you. And I just attacked him. How dare you to go with them, and I'm the one that's loving you and taking care of you, and you gonna go with them.
Got mad at me too.
You were laughing?
I wasn't even there.
Oh.
I wasn't even there.
I said, well, you and your granddaddy can go on. I'm done with it.
Oh, wow. You went deep.
I did. I really did.
Been there.
But see, those opportunities must come in order for you to develop within yourself, to allow the Lord to work within you the ability to be more calmer and to react somewhat differently. I'm getting ready for this study on this presentation I have to do on Saturday about temperament. And what I'm learning is that the way you are is how you were made. And that's probably not going to change.
I realize that.
But how you respond can change.
Yes, and that's what
Can
needs to
change. But it will always irritate you. But you don't have to let the irritation cause you to exhibit all of the negative aspects of your temperament trait. All right.
You can use a pearl for that example. The irritation of sand and pearl makes pearl.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Okay. All right, let's move on then. Okay. So I'm not gonna ask you to repeat your memory verses. We got about 30 minutes. Let's do this. All right. Reverend Carter, could you flip through Reverend Carter? Or is the clicker up here? Reverend James? One more. Right there. Right there. All right. On page 75 of his book, there was 2 case studies there. One was about Martha. Martha loved the outdoors, and she enjoyed long walks in the woods. And although Martha was a Christian, she did not attend church, reciting an excuse many people use: I can worship God better when I'm enjoying His creation, basically by myself. And then there was a Joe who had given his life to Christ several years ago, but had never become involved in the church. Even though members of the church in his neighborhood visited him, Joe declined to attend. A shy person, Joe could not imagine himself conversing with strangers. Joe's fearful of relationship, fearful of telling people things that may gossip on him, or he just don't want to interact with people. So Martha prefers isolation to engagement, and Joe fears what might be discovered in engagement. Have you ever experienced a desire for isolation or feared engagement? And if so, how'd you overcome it? Yes.
What was the question? Have
you experienced a desire for isolation?
Okay.
Or feared engaging other people? Okay. And if you have, how'd you overcome that? If you haven't overcome it, that's okay.
No.
You haven't overcome it.
I
You haven't overcome it. You haven't overcome it?
Well, I think I have.
You think you have? How'd you do that?
Much prayer, meditation, and somebody kicking me in the behind.
Somebody kicking you in the behind.
Yes.
Expound on the kicking the behind part.
Wouldn't let me be isolated.
Would not let you be isolated.
Yes.
Made you get out there
Yes.
and get engaged with
Yes.
people.
Yes.
Okay. So what you're saying is that if you have this fear and you have this this preference to be all by yourself. You have to make a conscious decision on your own
Right,
not to do that.
right.
And engaged.
Yeah, that's what I did. And I wasn't allowed to do it.
You may need somebody to push you.
Yes.
George pushed you.
Exactly.
So I need to push co-pastor. If she has a problem, I need to push her some more. So what that says is that as a part of our fellowship with one another, then we need to be more open to encouraging each other.
It does take encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
So you saying encouragement is pushing?
Encouragement can be a little pushy.
Okay.
It can be a little pushy. I got to tell you, and I got to tell you that you can do it, and I got to try to get you to do it, if possible. Yeah. Put you in situations where you have to, if I can.
Like my
If you
daughter
let me.
did to me last night.
Hmm?
Like my daughter did to me last night.
Yeah.
Oh, making you go to Catholic?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She told you about it, huh?
The kids, they told me all about it. Yeah.
Oh Lord, she's another.
So see when you do, but see you have to have a relationship, because if you don't have a relationship with them, you ain't pushing them nowhere
Right.
until you get out of their age.
Exactly.
But if you develop a relationship with them, you know, where you've shown an interest in what's important to them and develop that relationship, then they'll be more receptive to your encouragement and your push. Okay.
Say that one more time.
All right. If you develop a relationship with them, then they'll be more receptive to your encouragement and your push. But you can't really encourage and push people
Until you develop that
relationship. Because then they'll be receptive to what you hear. See, you have to win people's trust of where they believe that you're there because you're concerned about their interests,
Right.
not your own.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not saying I'm the youngest, but there are a
Yeah,
lot
he's
of
the
older.
I thought I was the youngest.
There are a lot of older
I'm the younger.
people.
Older people.
Older. I didn't
Older?
say old. I
Okay.
said older.
Older.
People
People.
in this
This
congregation.
body. Mm-hmm.
So for me to befriend someone older
Okay.
than me,
Mm-hmm.
how do I do that without being disrespectful in some aspects as a friend? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if we're friends, if you're my friend, I get to talk to you like a friend, but
Okay.
some people might take that as being disrespectful.
But you'll get
Just-
to know that though.
Just like you do me. But isn't it a difference isn't it a difference in befriending someone and we homies? And there are a difference in that?
Well, there's a difference, because you are befriending people whom, in many cases, you are trying to elevate. When you become homies
Right.
with them, it's usually because you have gone down to their level. See what I'm saying? So you're trying to lift them up. You can't be a homie lifting them up. They got plenty of homies, but they need somebody. They need somebody who can lift them up. You want to be a discipler, to help to present an example, to help them to grow and to encourage them to grow. It does not matter whether you're 36 and they're 82. Spiritually, they may only be 16.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay. All right.
And so you still have to respect them as an elder, but you're trying to help elevate them spiritually so that they can grow. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, like, you know, if I'm trying to help someone who's in their 70s, then I'm still going to show them the respect that I would show a 70-year-old woman, and we're never really going to be on that level to where we homie status, because
Gotcha.
she's 70 years old. She knows stuff. She done forgot stuff that I don't know yet. Okay? And in all likelihood, when you deal in those kind of relationships, it's a lot easier because they want to tell you about everything that they did in their lives. They just want somebody to listen to them because they got all this information and knowledge that they think they can share. And if you just show some concern and some interest in what they have to say, they'll open up and tell you everything. Be cooking for you, baking for you, making sure they bed, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yes.
Well, you know, when I was a little kid, that's what I used to do. I would go to these older women's houses, you know, and I would play up to them, you know, and they would feed me and make little cupcakes for me, and then I'd go sleep in their bed. Not sleep with them, but sleep in their bed.
Okay.
Okay. So you can't forget the reason why you are doing what you are doing.
Gotcha.
Okay? Your focus is on helping them to grow spiritually, to become stronger, better disciples, so that they have the ability to go out and disciple someone else. That's got to be your focus. Okay? The Amway salesman never forgets the fact that you are a potential client, no matter what he talks to you about. He's still focused on the fact that he wants you to become a client. Okay? So no matter what you discuss and what you talk, it's all a vehicle or avenue because you're looking for an opportunity or window when you can do this and then insert something that's going to help them grow. All right? All right, let's go to the next one. This week you learned about 4 traits or characteristics regarding friendship. And they are caring enough to confront one another in love.
Okay, that on.
Yeah, that was in there.
Uh-huh. Not gossiping or making hurtful remarks about one another.
34.
Wanting the best for one another and being willing to share the gospel with a friend who does not know Jesus. And loving one another regardless of the situation they face. All right. So can you identify some barriers to exhibiting these traits and some ways to overcome them? In the book, it asks you, which one of these traits do you have the most difficulty with? That's what they ask in the book. I don't want you to tell me that you have a problem with gossip. I just rather for you not to admit that openly and publicly. So I modified the question to say, okay, what are some barriers? And then what are some ways you can overcome those barriers, all right? So for caring enough to confront, what are some barriers to confronting people in love?
A lot of people don't like confrontation.
People don't like confrontation, okay?
Afraid of rejection.
Afraid of rejection, okay?
Hurting someone's feelings.
Hurting someone's feelings, all right?
So my thing would be, is this really love? Because the way I come off on people, I don't think it's love. I mean,
And it was probably not. And I'm gonna say the same with me too. It's irritation. I just got irritated. And I'm confronting you because I'm irritated. Okay? So, and that's the difference between the two.
Yes, sir.
It was just a little, like a cliche but it says, people don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care.
What you care.
So when you're talking to people, they can sense, sincerity and genuine. If you coming off like you just trying to rush to give them something that you know, they'll sense that. But if they know that you really care, then they'll want to know everything you got to know.
Okay.
Maybe that's maybe.
Sometimes, okay, you have to be strategic in confrontation.
I agree.
You have to, first of all, be wanting to confront for the betterment of that person. Not so they can just know what they did because you didn't like it, or that you disagreed with what it is they did or what they said. But you've got to be wanting to go to them because you care about them and you're concerned. Okay? Then you have to pick the right time to confront. Sometimes we have a tendency to want to, like Barney Fife, nip it in the bud right then. We nip it in the bud, tell them what we think about it, but it has no effect because emotionally they're not ready to receive what you've got to say. You've said the words, but they were wasted words. They were seed that fell on unfertile ground and produced no fruit. Sometimes you'll have to wait to a later date in order to bring the subject up in order to confront. Sometimes you have to do like the prophet did when he went to David. Sometimes you have to go to people and give them an analogy so that they can really see the fallacy of their thinking, get upset about that analogy, and then you can tell them, you're the one. And this is what you did. So that they can see themselves. But you're doing it not because you think you know everything or because you're so righteous and holy and you just feel like, the word says, that if I don't tell them, then it's something, the blood is on my hand and I want to get the blood off my hand. That sounds like not denying yourself, doesn't it? That sounds like putting yourself above their soul when you have that kind of attitude. Yes, ma'am.
I was going to say, I know that to be true because I've done that before where I've seen different things and just you could just tell it wasn't the right time to say because they're going to get mad. And then, within a conversation, it came up and then they're like, well, if there's anything, just let me know. And then you can feed them everything. And then they talk, they actually understand it when they're actually open. And that did happen with me once before. I wanted to confront, but I couldn't confront because you just could tell that it wasn't the right time. And then when God made that opportunity right, they were able to really accept what I had to say and ponder it and not just like whatever, you're just being messy or whatever.
That's right. And see, and I firmly believe that if your objective is really to help them and not just to get back at them, that the Spirit will allow you to sense when the right time is, and the Holy Spirit will give you the right method in order to make that confrontation, in order to bring about the intended result. So, not gossip and make hurtful remarks about one another.
That's not in my temperament.
What's not in your temperament?
The waiting.
To wait. There again, it may not be in your temperament to wait, but if your heart is in the right place, even though your emotions may want to go off and tell them right now, because your heart is in the right place, because your goal is not just to get it off your chest, but to make a difference in their lives, you wait. You wait. So your heart's got to be right. See, your temperament is such that you're going to tell them. Your temperament is such that you're not afraid to confront. So it won't be an issue of the fact that that you're just going to let it slide and let it go. No, but and that's a good thing that you're not afraid to confront. But your temperament doesn't make you do it in an untimely manner. You do.
Okay.
You do. Okay? You do. And even though your temperament may be such that the way you come off may still seem somewhat harsh, but if you're being led by the Spirit and your heart, your intent is really to see the betterment of that person, God will temper their temperament that they'll still be able to receive from you. Okay? He'll set it up. But your heart got to be in the right place. Your heart's got to be is that I need to do this, but I want to do this not because I'm trying to get it off my chest or because I can't sleep at night or it's just irking me until I say something, but I want to do this because I'm concerned about their soul. Okay? All right. Not go back, Ricardo. Not gossip or make hurtful remarks about one another. Do you know that when Sister Francis came to church one Sunday, the glitter all over her, and sat down in this chair and got glittered all in this chair, and then left and didn't even try to clean it up. And Brandy had church cleaned up while she was trying to get all that glitter out that chair. She was fussing at Reva about her mama and that glitter. I can't believe she came to church with all that glitter on. And not one time has Brandy said anything to her mama about the glitter that she left in the chair. But she just told Reva that her mama wore glitter to church, got glitter all in the chair, and didn't even think kindly enough to try to take care of it before she left, and left it there for somebody else to clean up. Now you can just imagine what's going through Reva's mind about Brandy's mama and how clean she may or may not be. And then when we have a fellowship and we bring food here and Reva don't want to eat anything off her plate because Reva now thinks she's an unclean person because she left glitter all over the chair. See, that's how we start mess. That's how we start mess. And so we have to avoid stuff like that. So if your mama left glitter in the chair, that's the time you needed to confront her at home. Enough to where she came out here before y'all cleaned up and got that glitter out of there, so that when you and Reva came to clean, there'd be no need for you to slander your mama or make Reva think that your mama is an unclean person because she left glitter in the chair, so she'll eat out of your mama's bowl when she gets it.
I don't know if we go that far, but okay.
I'm telling you that there are some people who have done that before over something just that silly. Just that silly. And it creates friction and distrust, and issues. So we need to avoid that. We need to avoid that. That's why if we see something in love, we need to confront it with that individual. We have a tendency sometimes that if somebody does something wrong, we have to get verification from somebody else before we go talk to them. That is still gossiping. That is still slander.
Well,
if you see me do wrong, you do not have to go to co-pastor to get clarification on what I did wrong. What you need to do is get clarification on what I did with me. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
I mean, okay, I see what you're saying. It's just sometimes you want leadership or someone to help guide you
Okay.
on what you should say because you don't want to say the wrong thing.
Now for leadership, I mean, in that instance, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna talk to leadership, but I think when you're talking about it, you just talking
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
But then in leadership, hopefully leadership is not the one that's gonna be gossiping, or leadership is gonna guide you to get clarification as to what you thought you saw, what you thought happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
if I go to Reverend B about something, let's just say co-pastor did something how can I approach co-pastor? I mean, if I'm asking for advice, you know what I'm saying? I don't
If you thought
necessarily-
co-pastor did something.
if she did something to me.
If she did something to you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. If co-pastor does something to you,
Mm-hmm.
don't come to me for advice. What the word say?
It says take my ought to my brother.
That's right.
But my feelings, yes, I'm saying feelings,
Uh-huh.
yes. My feelings may want to go off on co-pastor, and I don't want that.
Okay. Then don't go to anybody, because your feelings is going to slander co-pastor with somebody else in an attempt to get your feelings calmed down, but you leave a scar there that doesn't go away in them.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, when co-pastor, that's why I seldom would ever bring home to co-pastor my feelings regarding something that happened on the job, where somebody said something or offended me, nor do I go home and talk to her about things y'all might do to offend me. Because when I share that with her,
She take the ought to.
she takes on that off. Now I get over it. She don't. And she got to say something to somebody in order to get over it. And if I don't let her say anything, she can't hide her feelings. You're going to know she got issue with you. See? So I won't slander you to her. If I got an issue with you, I'll come to you about it. Now, I'm the kind of person that, you can offend me and I'll just get over it. I may never come in and say anything to you about it. I'll just get over it. I give you the benefit, after I thought about it for a while, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and let you go.
But why do that, Pastor, if we may come back and do it again?
Well, now, if you keep doing it, I'm going to say something to
Okay.
you. I'll say something to you. But that's just my personality. Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference between, and maybe there is no difference,
Mm-hmm.
between venting and gossip?
Well, venting and gossip are really the same thing. Venting is just the world's way of saying gossip.
But you're not doing it to share information. It's like, it's like if you don't get it out, you're carrying it on so much that you get sick.
So who should you vent to?
Well, prayer.
You vent to God. Go vent to Him. Get it out with Him.
But I think that there are people that you know who you could vent to.
But how does that
That will allow you to vent and won't take that offense.
No.
I've had people vent to me and not take that offense. Right, we can't take that offense.
So we can't come to you then? That's what you're saying?
I
Because
said you can come to me, but when you come to me about an issue that you got with somebody else, I'll hear what you got to say, but I'm not going to say anything about them. If I say anything, it's going to be about you. Because I'm going to deal with you. I'm not going to try to deal with them via you, because then I'm guilty.
Yeah, but I thought she was just asking if she needs to talk. I don't think she needs to say.
Without it having the gossip, does it become gossip when we have an exchange?
Well, if you come to me and tell, if you want to vent on what you feel, how you feel.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you want to vent to me about how you feel, or vent to co-pastor about how you feel, you can vent without mentioning their name. You can vent without identifying who they are.
But even if you do vent, wait a minute, babe. And the reason that I'm saying is because of being pastors, we do a lot of couples.
Yes, but when you find in the Word where it says that I can be offended by somebody and go to somebody else and tell them about it before I do what the Word says is go talk to them, then I'll agree with that. Find it in the Word. Because the Word says you're supposed to go to them first. Now, if you go to them and they don't hear you, then you can come to me.
Well, then that probably does happen, because they have gotten on my last nerve. If I say one more thing to you, so I don't say nothing to you, then I'm going to go to you and say, I need to let this out because I'm getting ready to hurt somebody. So I got to learn not to say their name.
So if that be the case, it's because when you come to me, it's because we're going to go back to them to reconcile. You're coming to me because you want me to go with you to reconcile with them because they didn't hear you.
Well, not always, because men want to fix. Women want to
Right, exactly.
and so it ain't always that I want to say something for you to fix it. I just
But okay, so
And then I'm good.
then when you show me in the Word where it says that after you have gone to them and they wouldn't hear you, then you can go to somebody else and vent about them, then I'll buy it. But until then, I have to stick with what the Word says. Because okay. It ain't about making you feel good. We want to feel good. It ain't about feeling good. It's about Luke 9:23. Every time your feelings get hurt, deny. Forgive. You're going to talk about forgiveness this Saturday, right? You're going to talk about forgiveness. Nowhere in forgiveness does it say that I got to wait until my feelings get at ease in order to do so.
Oh my Lord.
I got to forgive. Do you want to be forgiven?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, must Jesus bear the cross alone and all the world go free? We want to get saved and not have to bear no crosses with other folks. No, there's a cross for everyone, and there's a cross for me. Sometimes the people who are the closest to you can become your cross that you must bear. Because in most cases, it's a cross you chose based on your intelligent choice.
I'm getting a little, I guess I'm trying to understand, because I'm thinking when a person is getting ready to do something stupid or
Okay.
crazy
Okay?
because of their feelings, and they come and talk to you,
Okay.
and you give them guidance on what they need to do,
Mm-hmm.
then how does that fall into what you just said? And I guess what I'm saying is, like, a typical example, maybe this young lady had packed out her stuff and put it in the trunk of her car, and she was leaving her husband.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it didn't make sense.
Okay.
And she talks to you.
And she called me and told me she was leaving her house.
She's here at church.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting ready to leave, and she's here, and she says, I'm leaving my husband.
Okay.
And then, what do? You say you need to go back and talk to your husband?
No, I'm going to ask her why she's leaving. Why she made that choice.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask her why she made that choice.
I'm confused, but go ahead, go on.
I'm gonna ask her why she made that choice because I wanna know what's going on inside of her that has brought her to this point to be able to do this. And in all likelihood, she's going to tell me all about him and what he did.
I understand that.
But that still doesn't make.
But she's not coming to you though. She's not coming to. I guess at that particular point she's emotional. So maybe she's not coming for you to go after she's already talked with him and argued with him. Mm-hmm. She's not coming to you to go back to her to reconcile. She's just made a decision what she's gonna do, and she's emotional, and then she's gonna. You understand where I'm coming from? Y'all understand where I'm coming from?
And she may still decide to do that even after she talks to me.
But what I'm saying is that it's like a minute. Never mind. Just go on. I don't know how to explain it. Go on.
Okay. I think this is what we're hung up on. We're hung up on what's the right thing to do and what people really do. Yeah? If you come to me and you're in an upset status, I'm not just going to push you off and tell you you need to go talk to your husband first. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to find out what's going on. I'm going to try to encourage you to do the right thing. One of those may be going back and talking to him. I'm going to encourage you, maybe y'all both could come together for counseling. I'm going to do everything I can to try to help you calm down and make a wise, logical, informed choice to get you off of your emotional roller coaster. Because it won't do you any good to pack up all your stuff and leave your husband, and then next week be crying and boo-hooing and then bring all your stuff back and then find out somebody else that moved in with him. So I'm gonna try to talk to you and convince you, okay, let's try to work it out. Let's try to work through it. But the fact of the matter, but that does not change the fact about what the word says about when you have an offense. It doesn't change that. It doesn't change that. And maybe you did try to work something out here, and y'all got into an argument during the process. Okay. And you're coming to me because of it. I still want to engage both of you to try to work this thing out. Because I can't do anything for him if he ain't there.
I don't want you doing
The only thing I can do is for him. And what you might just want me to just listen so you can just vent.
No, that's not. I guess that's not what I'm. So maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. Just go on. That's why I said just go on.
Okay. Well, we out of time. We're about 13 minutes over. All right. So next week, be prepared, because I had another chart I was going to get into, but be prepared for next week, all right, to complete your My Walk with the Master on page 91. Okay, have your daily quiet time, read your Bible every day, write down what God says to you and what you say to him, study the reasons for memorizing Scripture and how to memorize Scripture on pages 110 through 112. Pray about your priorities and your use of time, and review the use of Master's time on page 88 and 89. Pray with your partner this week, and pray for the members of your group. And if you haven't made a new friend this week you're going to make a new friend who's not a Christian.
Question: if somebody had a partner and your partner is no longer coming,
Okay?
they need to talk to you about getting a new partner.
Okay. All right. Let me know. If that's the case, let me know.
It is the case. I'm just letting you know.
Is it your partner?
No.
Okay.
They had talked to me earlier, and so they're teaching back there.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, we'll work on that. All right, let's pray and dismiss it. Well, hopefully y'all got something out of tonight. I'm gonna use some water. Lord, we thank you tonight. We just give you glory and honor and praise in all things. We pray tonight, Father, that you will help us to overcome any reluctance or any fears or hindrances that we may have in reaching out to other people. I pray, God, that you will give us the wisdom on how to do, and what to do, whom to reach out to, and I pray that you will give us what we need. You told us, Father, that if we would just be obedient and go, that you would give us what to say. So I thank you right now. I thank you for what you're doing in our lives, and I thank you for the spiritual growth in this body. In Jesus' name, amen.
Well, it's like that, you.